Hey everyone, I finished watching the next episode of Power Rangers Ninja Storm. There's no I in team. This is another really good episode. So it starts off in a really cool way. The Rangers are hiking through this weird pink tinted desert searching for a scroll, and they find the scroll floating in the sky. It says, "Stronger is one than three," but they don't have time to figure out what that means because they're suddenly ambushed by Kelzax, and they're all the Rangers are connected by their wrists because, cooperative team building exercise, I guess. So they're trying to fight off the Kelzax and get the scroll at the same time. Shane, all of the Rangers are able to break the wrist thingies. Shane goes off to get the scroll, leaving his two friends behind, and they get killed by the Kelzax, and then suddenly everything disappears, and it turns out it's a simulation. A very advanced simulation. Okay, sure. So, anyway, Cam shuts the computer down, and the Rangers are talking among themselves about, crap, we didn't do it. And so then, let's see, Cam says, we'll start it again tomorrow, and then the others, they start heading off, but Shane's like, no, man, we gotta keep doing it until we get it right. Or, no, wait, he says, until you get it right. And they're like, yeah, maybe it's you who gotta get it right. And so anyway, they argue about that for a while, and then up in space, Mar and Capri are arguing over, uh, some device of Lothor's, the personal alien manager. They accidentally summon a monster. Lothor comes in, he's sick of hearing them argue, so he tells the monster to, stick them together. Okay. I guess he knows just exactly what this monster does. Maybe it's a prior ally, and that's why it's on the manager. So he zaps Mara and Capri, and they get stuck together, and Lothor tells them that until they learn how to work together, they're going to be stuck like that, paralleling the Rangers' problems. So then, let's see, back at the Rangers' base, we get a little tease of the Zords. This was a really cool scene. I think I did see this episode when I was a kid, and I remember, because I very vaguely remember this particular scene. Not a whole lot else from this episode, but I remember this scene where Cam is working on the computer and we see images of the Zords, but the Zords haven't been in the show yet. And I just thought, oh, that's such a cool thing. We get this little tease of what the Zords look like. And, like, me as a Power Ranger fan, I knew that they were Zords. They're big robot vehicles, they combine into a big robot, and that's obviously what's on the screen, but if this was your first time watching Power Rangers, you probably wouldn't know what he's working on. There's like just a bunch of like vague shapes on there. So then, let's see. Oh, where'd my notes go? Okay, there it is. Mar and Capri, they take their alien down, and he starts zapping people, sticking them all together. And then the really weird thing, he takes all the people that he stuck together, then sticks them together into a little pyramid, and they turn into a statue. Okay, that's different. Anyway, while that's going on, Shane is inside Storm Chargers, and there's a really nice scene where he's talking to Kelly, the boss at Storm Chargers, and he's talking to her about what makes a good boss, and what she tells him helps him later on to like slowly figure out, okay, I need to be a good leader for the Ninja Storm team, and I have to treat the others as equals and this and that. So then he goes out. He hasn't The words that Kelly told him haven't quite sunk into his head yet, and he tries to fight the monster alone. And then the others, they're in the base. They see like on the screen Shane fighting the monster, and they're like, "Oh man, we gotta go help him." Then Watanabe's like, "No, not yet. I'll tell you when to go." And so once Shane admits that he needs help, then Sensei allows the Rangers to go and help him. And let's see, so they all team up and they combine their weapons and destroy the monster. And let's see, my notes added an extra letter here for some reason. Okay, weird. I don't know what that's doing there. Anyway, they destroy the monster, then Mar and Capri use the personal alien manager to summon the Scroll of Empowerment. That's a cool name. And that zaps the monster and turns him into a giant. And then Watanabe, back at the base, tells Cam to send the Zords. And then Cam tells the Rangers how the Zords work, and this is a really cool scene. It's all exposition, but it makes sense. The Rangers don't know what the Zords are. Cam does know what the Zords are. He knows everything they do. Apparently, he's been working on them. So it's a cool scene when with him telling him all the Zords' abilities, how to make them work, and what they do, and all that. So using, oh yeah, they use their Zords, and then they remember the one is more than three thing from the beginning, and they combine their Zords into the Megazord, they destroy the monster, Lothor is all ticked off, and prepares his new plan, which is, these two new Rangers that we've totally never seen before in the theme song. And that's where it ends. It's a great episode. I love how the like moral lesson that Shane has to learn is like natural and organic to the story. It's a part of the story. It's not like a lot of the recent seasons where they would kind of force in the Rangers learning something, but it doesn't really like it's like in a lot of the seasons, like especially Dino Fury, it's so frustrating when the Rangers have a problem that just seems to come right out of nowhere. Like in here, it makes sense. Also, another thing that I was thinking about, this episode of Ninja Storm, it's the second episode. If any of the Rangers are going to be learning about teamwork and how to cooperate and work with others, it should be way at the beginning. But in recent seasons, the weird moral lesson thing, it's like really forced. It doesn't feel natural or organic to the story like this does. The Ranger, after they learn their lesson, they kind of just reboot in the next couple of episodes. The lessons don't stick. Also, in the newer seasons, an episode like this could be anywhere in the season. Like in Dino Fury, we were having episodes like well into season 2 of Dino Fury where the Rangers are still learning basic lessons about teamwork and whatever. And I know that the show is trying to skew younger now, but I mean, Ninja Storm at the time was crazy popular with younger viewers and was able to weave these moral lessons into the actual story and not make them feel forced. Also, everybody's in character. That's another thing in some of the recent seasons where they'll try to force in a moral by having a character just completely break their established personality and just do whatever the bad thing is. And then everybody else is just dumb and they don't realize that it's bad or something or whatever drags out the plot longer. So anyway, the simulation at the beginning is pretty advanced, and it made me like think of a little fan theory that maybe Earth took some technology from the Simu deck of the Astro Megaship from like after In Space when it was turned into a museum. Surely there was somebody who like went through and studied all the technology on the Megaship. I mean, Damon worked on it. He knew how the technology worked, so surely some other people must have recorded how the technology on it works, so maybe that's where this came from. I know in reality they just thought, oh hey, wouldn't it be cool if it turned out to be a simulation and then Cam turns off a computer and everything disappears? Like, yeah, Power Rangers is in like a fantasy world, heightened reality and all that, but yeah, this when there's suddenly like extremely advanced technology like this, it's just used so casually. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Because I was thinking about this really hasn't happened often in the past. Like, where the characters just suddenly have, like, advanced technology. Then again, this kind of thing did happen occasionally, like back in Mighty Morphin, where they had, like, random tech that would, like, do crazy things, but it was usually, like, based in comedy. The simulation thing at the beginning here wasn't based in comedy, it was, like, just a part of the story. It wasn't meant to be like, oh, look how ridiculous this is, and look how silly it is, and no, it's not like that. Yeah, when it's done like that, it kind of comes off as strange at this point in Power Rangers, or really in the future of Power Rangers too. They'll have crazy advanced technology, and everyone just treats it like it's normal. It's still weird. I don't know. I don't think Power Rangers has ever found like a good balance for like having extremely advanced technology after the Saban era. So then, let's see. Oh yeah, Mara and Capri are fairly big in this episode. I really like them. They're really unique characters. They remind me of Nadira from Time Force. They're just kind of like bratty, entitled relatives to the main villain, and I don't know, we don't get stuff like that often. Like, Nadira is the only one I can think of before. After Mara and Capri, I can't really think of anything after. Yeah. I guess bratty female characters just aren't really a big thing Power Rangers wants to do anymore. Let's see. Oh yeah, the reveal of the two new Rangers at the end would have been a lot cooler if they weren't prominently displayed in the theme song. Like, I don't think they show their faces, but you can tell these aren't the normal Rangers, and they have their own Zords. They show their Zords. They show them combining into their own Megazord or whatever. So it's obvious that, like, they're gonna play a major part. They're gonna join the normal, or, well, we don't know for sure if they're gonna join the normal Rangers, but I don't know, it still seems kind of silly to put them in the theme and then not, or, whatever. Can't think of too much else to say about this one. It was a good episode, just a lot of little things are weird. One of the things I like about this episode, it gave me a lot to think about. Probably none of it was like intentional. It was just a bunch of weird things I think too deep about. Oh, whatever. Moving on. That's all for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.